Why is there no body positivity movement for men? One thing I never noticed until I started going bald and shaved my head, is how normal it is to make fun of bald guys. Evil villains, gross losers are bald or balding, people constantly make jokes or fun of them in movies and TV shows, women laugh and shame bald guys, so do men. It's kind of up because if I was overweight I can make the change and lose weight, but we can't shame. But losing your hair has become okay to shame and make fun of, and men have no control over it. This led me to really hate myself and shame myself for a long time. Now I don't give a because I'm years deep, but I feel horrible when I see kids who are my age when I began losing hair having to deal with it. Going bald at 22 is up and took all of my 20s to become okay with. Nobody gives a edit. How did this become my #1 rated comment? No need mate, we already know we're perfect smiling face with sunglasses. For women, by women. There is, it's the positive association of Dad Bod. The body positivity movement is by women for women, and also flawed I think. Supply and demand. There is basically no demand for it outside of a few people on Reddit, and most of those don't even care about actual body positivity, they're trying to wage some faux battle against women and thinking they're being clever. Most dudes don't care a ton about their body shape and don't really get bent about it, and the ones who do take action on it and go work out or diet. The vast majority of men don't really care, so there isn't really a willing audience for it like there is for women. Because we just haven't yet. Body positivity for women was perpetuated by women. What are we doing as men to create that for ourselves? Sweet fa. I watch a guy on YouTube named Zack Telander, and in a recent video while working out with a friend they kinda addressed this and I agreed based on personal experience. It's because men publicly won't adequately support each other the same way that women will. And don't take this as me saying all guys are assholes, I mean I am one, it's how men generally accept views of masculinity, especially when growing up. Growing up I wore what I wanted no matter what people said, made the jokes I thought were funny, and stood up for myself. 90% of guys told me I was, as an insult. This was around 2010 high school, and tried to make my life worse. The 10% who just took things as they went thought I was funny and the best guy at parties. The first things that need to change is how men portray themselves and accept others in the public light. All these replies saying that movement is for women by women, and cause women are pretentious, which I read in the comments, are just insecure and won't face reality. Downvote me if you want to, this is the truth. Stop blaming other people and groups without looking at the center of the problem. Isn't there? I've noticed more plus-size males getting represented in media. I thought it was an attempt to appeal to the average human. I dunno man, love yourself, but there is always for improvement. Best not to get fixated in your imperfections though. Maybe it's because socially appearance is more central to a woman's identity than it is to a man's? Like it's more important for them, they're way more conscious about it. There is. It's me. I'm old and don't care, and neither do women. What is preventing you from starting one yourself? Because I don't get triggered when I see characters or action figures depicting body types or traits I don't have. I'm a lanky black man, but seeing Super Saiyans with rippling muscles and golden hair and green eyes doesn't make me want to cut myself. I'm a guy and in my opinion it's not as needed. The pressure women face to look good using fake means such as makeup, is mainly peddled by other women and media. Most men don't care and we express this, but media and other women are atrocious to other women about looks. Men don't get offended when people suggest that they should start working out. The amount of comments I got when at 23 I shaved my hair because it was starting to get super noticeable I was losing my hair, stuff like "oh you looked awful/gross," and I found out people were making fun of me behind my back. It crushed me. It came from family and people I considered really close friends. I was never a self-conscious person before that. Same thing with men's height. Can't change it, yet it's publicly acceptable to shame. I have been getting comments from heels for as long as I can remember. And it is mostly women, which is sad because I try to be as empathetic as I can, especially knowing how difficult they have it in today's world. Only respite was my time in the Navy, surprisingly. Edit. I just want to say how happy I am that the responses to both this comment and all of the other comments on this post are so wholesome. This is why I love this sub. Just men talking it out in a civil, kind manner. Love you boys. One of my best friends is bald and I have never, and will never make fun of him about it. I started balding at 15. I've been rocking the bald with beard look. People make fun of me, but I'm not too easy to get under my skin. It's still though. Why not make fun of how awkward I am? They choose low-hanging fruit. It's dumb. The truest answer. I could wipe my with fake validation. Also, because you can't sell body positivity to men. Right. We aren't asking for it. Yep, this right here. And we all know that it's not healthy, so we're not in denial about what we should do. Not only that, but men do really well in the real world, especially in the entertainment business. You have male celebrities, old male celebrities, short male celebrities, and bald male celebrities that are successful in the movie and music industries, and have no problem getting positive attention from women, e.g., Lemmy, Jack Black, Pete Davidson, Jason Statham, John Travolta, Danny DeVito, Tom Cruise, etc. Whether super masculine, e.g., Sean Connery, Clint Eastwood, Hugh Jackman, or super feminine, e.g., Harry Styles, Timothy Chalamet, it doesn't matter. Why do men need body positivity when Hollywood movies have shown that short, bald, old, *** men can still get laid by hot young women? That's right, King. I don't think it's drilled into men that their looks are intrinsically tied to their value the same way as it is for women from a young age. There's less need for a movement because I think it's fundamentally less important to guys. This is a good point. In my country there's even a saying, men shouldn't be pretty, with the idea that a man is defined by what he provides, which I think is its own problem, but whatever, and is a good potential partner based on that vs what they look like. Obviously, IRL hot guys still do the best with women, but it reflects that mentality, I think, especially because of the rise of Tinder and Insta, heightening male body standards, MCU effect IMO, and algorithms that reward visual attractiveness and nothing else. Men are gradually getting imprinted with this idea that maybe looks are more important, but like that Tinder study showed, most women only find 20% of men immediately visually attractive. Add this to women getting greater financial independence, guys who provide aren't as valuable in the dating marketplace because a lot of women can provide for themselves, which gives them the ability to choose dudes with greater weight placed on how they look compared to the past. Thus, now we have movements like Black Pill where these dudes are convinced that nothing but physical attractiveness matters. While other comments have value, this is the real logic to answer Op's question. Removed. Why don't men do their own? For women, by women cosmetic and clothing companies who wanted a PR boost and to target a new demographic. It's not Dad Bod, it's a father figure. I like Dad Bod, but I do feel like in online media it's been taken over by fairly jacked guys with just a bit of body. They say Dad Bod, then show a picture of Jason Momoa. And why don't men support other men the way that women do? I mean, it isn't all women participating in the body positivity movement, but every time a woman helps another woman to feel better about themselves, it's a step forward, right? It's harder for men to make compliments to other men, but maybe if we all do it a little bit, it would become normalized, and bigger progress can be made. If women created a movement by themselves for themselves, that doesn't affect others in a negative way, why can't men do it also? Unhealthy shouldn't be praised as beauty to make women feel better about themselves. All of this. Also, I think the fact that women are more heavily marketed to plays a part in it. Women may like seeing underwear models where the model is overweight / has stretch marks because it reaffirms that their body is beautiful too. I don't know a single man who gives that much of a, the male models are only there to attract women into buying for their husband. On top of this, there isn't the same societal pressure on men as there is on women. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there isn't any, it's just different. Yeeb. It's the same as men's rights activists shouting, what about men's suicide rate? In response to any kind of feminism while doing absolutely nothing except complain at women on Twitter. Yeah, it's a problem, let's fix it. What we shouldn't be doing is trying to put down another movement instead of making progress ourselves. Body positivity for men? I'm all for it. Let's talk about it. Body positivity for women? Separate conversation, doesn't need mentioning in this context. Also important, but let's focus on promoting better situations for men than disparaging better lives for women. This whole thread is riddled with it. Yeah, why not? I'll go first by just saying a few things my friends and I from our youth would have needed to hear, and feel free to add or argue my points. 1. You have value regardless of how you look. And no, I do not mean others are supposed to see you as handsome or attractive. 2. Your dad bod or lanky build is absolutely okay. I will say nothing about your health based only on your physical appearance. If you wanted to know those things, you'd visit a doctor or do a Google search. 3. Your size is okay. Whether you're packing a 6, a micro penis, or anything in between. 4. You're free to keep or change anything about your appearance, have plastic surgery, work out, change your wardrobe and hairstyle, take a bath, please do if you're going outside, etc. Exactly. All I see are men who complain that there is no movement for them. They want a body positivity movement or a movement for them to be allowed to be sentimental. But they do nothing themselves. Do they expect others to do it for them? Have you never been around any other minority? No one cares, then start caring for your fellow men FFS. Oh. You are a tougher man than me. When I look in the mirror and don't see Frieza fight SSJ Goku staring back, I want to cry. I've got some male pattern baldness going on that I've decided to just ignore because who cares? The rest of my hair looks good and you can't see the baldness unless you're behind me looking at the top of my head. It doesn't change my personality. Just a little less hair. It is the single most important thing in getting rejected by women. I'm not a stranger to dating. I've been on dating apps for near a decade now and I don't struggle too much with setting up dates, and I understand when she loses interest because of my personality or incompatibility or whatever. I've learned how important it is to get in front of her early so she can see that bald spot, because 70%-ish of women go cold and mentally check out immediately on seeing it. They don't even pretend like they just want to be friends with me after the date, lol, they just peace out and I never hear from them again. Honestly, I'm in that camp. No bald shame, but it looks ridiculous if you are holding on your last hairs. It looks really desperate and delusional. If you, random user, are reading it and you are thinking about it, shave it and accept it. You will be way better off. Size 2. I'm tired of hearing terms like small energy. Even worse when it comes from progressive people. Many men have severe insecurity or dysmorphia around size. We're told it doesn't matter, but then most full frontal nudity these days features prosthetic penises, usually larger ones and stronger, virile looking men, and smaller prosthetics on nerdier looking men, further reinforcing stereotypes. And it is mostly women, which is sad because I try to be as empathetic as I can, especially knowing how difficult they have it in today's world. My experience is identical, and I'm not even super short or anything, 5'8". It's probably happened, but I can't remember a time another man has made fun of me for my height. Women, though? I'd say it's a coin flip as to whether or not they'll make some kind of comment once you become acquaintances. It's really weird. Another genetic thing we make fun of. Not all guys can grow a nice full beard. This here is a man willing to get his hands dirty to prove a point. Right here is the deepest answer. No amount of beautiful at every size is going to work for men. It's just not how we're wired. Because historically most men aren't defined by their physical attractiveness but by their financial ability. It's okay for a man to not be fit, but not okay for him to be a poor provider. Most men I know scoff at fake that will make literally zero difference in the conditions of their world. It's not like men have emotions anyway. Maybe you guys can explain something to me. Given that, 1. Just about half of the population is men. 2. Most of the people running these big corporations or in high-up positions in ad agencies, R&D, etc., are also men. Why are we saying nobody gives a fuck and then constantly looking at women to blame? It's thankfully not going on too much in this thread, but it's a common refrain any other time the problems men face are brought up. If it's not outright explicit, then there's this strong implication that men suffer because women in particular don't reciprocate all of their feelings or accept their emotional dumping, while men seem to get let off the hook as far as being jackasses to other men. Seems to me like all these men who are upset that men can't show emotion or be validated could stand to talk to the men in charge and ask them to address that, or start the movement itself so that it eventually is catered to by broader culture. Body positivity for women wasn't cooked up in a boardroom out of nowhere. It's not just obesity though. Body positivity could help deformed or physically injured men, it could help short men and men with small penises. Basically things deemed unattractive that can't be controlled like weight. Just look at the women they gave George Costanza. Women only want ripped muscular guys. Show a picture of Pete Davidson with hot chicks, yeah but he's funny. Show a picture of /u/spez, yeah, but he's smart/rich, so you don't want to work out, you don't want to try to have a good personality, you don't want to be educated, and you don't want to work harder for money. What exactly is someone supposed to like about you? Ya asking person raising both hands in celebration. Men aren't generally a demographic worth marketing to in the fashion industry. The body positivity movement is largely just so new demographics shop frequently. Most men find a pair of jeans or a shirt that fits and wear them for years. Not a lot of money to be made in a men's body positivity movement. Why is it that we praise unhealthy when it comes to roided out men who dehydrate themselves to make their muscles look big? Fr. The responses are women don't care but y'all can still care about each other. TF? That Piccolo, though. That's a specimen right there. When I look at that green skin, the antennae, the lack of hair or eyebrows, the clawed nails. I wonder how I could ever hope to match that kind of perfection. Then I remember, I just can't.